1240 and 92.7 FM Nooga Radio. I'm Cindy. Cindy's choice is to make a positive impact in our community. We do that through gathering businesses that complement each other and have the same target market. We provide them shared marketing management, allowing amazing cost savings with much added value. So you're not just getting a full-time marketing representative that represents you and brands you out in the community, but you get a lot of added value through advertising, PR, and lots of marketing strategies that you get to take full advantage of. And that's Cindy's choice. And Cindy's choice for an awesome business advisor is Nova Advisors. Nova Advisors is a contingency-based business service. They can bring a variety of strategies to reclaim or save business operational costs with no upfront fees and without requiring you to change vendors or make operational changes. Again, there's no upfront fees in order to save you money. And you can contact me. I'm happy to help you connect with Nova Advisors. My number, 423-661-4445. 423-661-4445. And as always, you can connect with me at cindy@cindyschoice.com. And Cindy's choice for a great catering option is always Chicken Salad Chick. Check out their catering menu at chickensaladchickchattanooga.com. chickensaladchickchattanooga.com. There's 12 varieties of chicken salad. I'm a cranberry Kelly girl. I just got introduced to the lemon basil with pecans. There's 10 other great flavors to choose from, along with egg salad, BLTs, spicy pimento cheese, which is great on a BLT. There's turkey pesto. I mean, I could just go on and on. The grape salad is a very popular item. So check them out at chickensaladchickchattanooga.com. Now, on with the show. And today I have a great guest to help us help businesses. And that guest is Lynn Chestnut, who is the managing director of the Small Business Development Center. Hey, Lynn, how are you?
I'm doing great, Cindy, and you?
I'm doing really, really good, and it is so good. I'm so excited to have you with me today.
Glad to be here.
Oh, and I'm just now, for those of you who are listening, you are listening on 1240 AM and 92.7 FM, and I just tuned us into Facebook, and we are also live streamed on YouTube as well. You can find us on your TuneIn radio app as well. Well, the reason I wanted to have Lynn on here today is because the Small Business Development Center is all about helping businesses, and that's what Cindy's Choice is about. So what a great collaboration to join up with for conversation to talk about helping businesses. And Lynn, before I jump in like that, I like to find out a little bit more, even though I do know you. I like to find out and help our listener know a little bit more about who we're talking to. So, Lynn, I know you live in Cleveland. Are you from the area?
I am. I was born and raised in Cleveland. I've spent most of my career in the Chattanooga, Cleveland area. I spent about 32 years in the banking industry,
right.
And spent a couple years as a counselor with our Small Business Development Center in Cleveland, and before becoming the director in Chattanooga back in January of 16. So spent most of my career here, 2 children, 20 and 16. So Chattanooga, Cleveland, that's my home. Love it here. Love to spend a lot of time in the outdoors with my family, play a lot of golf.
I was about to say, hit the golf course a bit.
Yeah, every time you call me, I'm on the golf course, it seems like. So anyway.
And that's okay. You just make another good guest for the Nooga Radio Outdoors show that I host. I want to start talking about golf more so that I will get back on the golf course because I miss it. I want to get back out there. And I'm loving doing the Nooga Radio Outdoors show because the more I talk about these things and encourage people to get outside, the more it keeps me accountable. Like, oh yeah, I got to do that too.
Exactly.
So it'll be fun to visit with you about golf, especially once I get back out there again. I'll have some good stories about getting reacclimated to the game. But it really is like riding a bicycle. It comes back to you. You can go long stretches and it comes back to you.
It does. Absolutely.
Well, Lynn, I like to start out talking about businesses with what kind of drives and motivates Cindy's Choice. I'm it's very people and purpose driven. Yet the statistics for small businesses, and me being a serial entrepreneur, I've experienced it and understand the challenges and why these statistics are like they are. But only 40% of businesses make a profit on average. 30% break even, and 30% are losing money. And that's always a good place to start, because there's a lot of different challenges for small businesses, but they're very common across the board. All businesses have the same challenges. It's just applied differently depending on the focus of their business. And that's a lot what Lynn helps with. They are the counseling arm, I like to call them, because they office at the incubator downtown. But that gets confused a lot. The incubator is the building where a lot of small businesses, new startups are housed.
We have about just over 70 currently in the incubator that are in that startup stage, which is generally 3 years that you look at.
Exactly.
But we're also part of a 9-county area that we cover. And Cindy, just briefly, what is, number one, to a lot of people, what is a small business? Well, according to the Small Business Administration, a small business is any business under 500 employees, under 5 million in revenue. Well, we're talking 90% of the businesses in our area. But most of the people we work with are your smaller, your mom and pops, your people who may have 15, 20, 30 employees. But one of the things we do where we differ, let me say, we're part of a network of 1,000 centers across the country, 14 in Tennessee. But we are what we call a life of business counseling service, which means we're there with you from concept to startup through the maturity of the business, all the way to the point of when you sell your business for millions of dollars and go retire into the mountains of Tennessee. So we're there with you all along. We provide consultative services. We provide marketing help. We connect people with people like you and others to help them, because as you talked about, only the 40% are making a profit. So, and they still need help, because as they grow, growth costs money. It's resource driven. But for the other folks, where they generally are not making a profit, they're generally underfunded, or they are not appropriately marketing their businesses. They don't have a plan. And that's kind of where we come in.
Exactly. And again, that's where I make relationships with people like Lynn, because that is the key things. He just hit on it. And quite honestly, the starting is, they say the hardest part of starting of anything is getting started. But once you get started, really getting something going and getting yourself busy is very doable. The growth part that you mentioned, that's where it gets tricky.
It does. And people think, okay, I'm getting bigger. It's bad. Bigger is better. Bigger is better. Well, not always. How many circuit cities do you see now? They're gone. We're seeing Sears, Walmart, Kmart. We're seeing
the Gander Mountains are closing.
Gander Mountain, you know, they outgrew themselves. And so growth can be very expensive. It can also be detrimental. So you have to grow the right way. But even in the startup part of it, several things that we do. Number one, every business person, every owner should have a business plan. Cindy, if I told you hey, I want you to deliver a package for me to Boise, Idaho. Well, you could put it in your truck. You could get packed. You could get going. But what do you not have? You don't have a map. You don't have a plan.
And you can't always count on the GPS.
Exactly. Well, and even with the GPS, let's say you're going down the interstate, and it's like this morning down in Dalton, the I-75 was closed. So what do those people have to do? They have to have an alternate route.
Exactly.
A business plan is about planning and recalculating when, because something's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to have a challenge. So having a business plan, and we have templates to help people put their plan together, financial projections. You need to be always projecting out for the next several years. Where are you going? How do you know where you're going to get? You got there if you don't know where you're going.
Exactly. No, I love that. And I talk a lot on the show about personality testing.
Yeah.
And the Myers-Briggs is where I recommend a lot of times. And you can go to 16personalities.com and take a 12-minute test. And it's a very good thing to study your personality. But one of the questions on there is, how you view things. Are you a stick to the plan kind of person? Or do you go in with this flexibility? Let's make a plan. We need a plan, but you're very open to fluctuation there. And that's what's going to define your personality, whether you're going to lean more toward entrepreneurship or, more structured working.
Sure.
And it's all good. It really is good. That's why these tests are good, finding where your strength is. But it just made me think about that, because that's a key part of being an entrepreneur. You're not going to be able to stick to the plan, but it's very necessary to have the plan so you have a direction and a focus to go.
Absolutely. And also having a contingency of where you need to go if things don't go exactly. Briefly, and how we kind of help people with what you're talking about, for anybody to onboard with us. And let me say the great part, 90% of what we do is at no cost to a business owner. Now,
Right.
That's huge. We provide these services. We're grant funded through Congress, SBA. We get matching funds from Chattanooga State. We also receive funding and help through UTC and the Chattanooga Chamber. But to onboard with us, what we do is we ask everybody to go to a small business orientation class. We do them every other Thursday, 2 sessions, 11:30 in the morning or 5:30 in the evening. That way, if you're working a day job and trying to decide. And what we do is we talk about, for about an hour and a half, the good, the bad, and the ugly of what it's all about. And we give you real life information to make sure, number one, is entrepreneurship for you?
Exactly.
Because it's not for everybody.
Yes, and that's a great place to start. And what I love about these classes and so forth, it's not just about the education that you're learning. It's about being in the room with other people like you. You cannot do it by yourself. That's a key part of the concept of Cindy's Choice. And especially for people that lean toward entrepreneurship, a lot of times they are loners. They are make it happen, get out of my way, I'll do this kind of people. Yet that's a lot of the reasons they don't succeed sometimes.
That's correct.
Is that these organizations like the Small Business Development Center, the kind of counseling that Lynn can offer that I've utilized myself and will keep utilizing. Like you said, it's a forever thing. Even though I've been in business a long time, I've started a lot of businesses, I know the value of constantly getting that input and feedback. And that is a crucial part of participating in these kinds of programs. It's not just about the education, learning the training for the marketing or where to find funds and so forth like that. It's the networking and being around a supportive, nurturing culture for what you're doing, because it's tough. And it's not like, entrepreneurship is tough. There's just no way around it, but so is working for someone. It's all tough. You just have to line yourself up with the right people that understand your specific challenges.
It's tough, but it's rewarding as well. But we have people, for example, we have folks in the incubator itself who have been all over the world and they've done amazing things. I know one of them who spent time in Russia, he spent time in Barbados, other places. And he said, I thought I knew everything. And he said, I got in the building and I didn't know what I didn't know. And he utilizes what we do because sometimes you just need third-party people to take a hard look with you at what's going on. And you may be great at, Cindy, your forte may be marketing, but it may not be the financial part of it.
Definitely.
And, but that's how many people learn in school how to financially run a business. You don't.
Right.
So,
well, what's funny about that, Lan, is I have an accounting degree.
Yep.
I have a background of being an office manager, but for some reason, the more entrepreneurial that I get, the more that goes right out the window.
Well,
it does. I still need that reinforcement,
sure.
and I'm going to have the other Lynn Talbot on the show, who helps me with my bookkeeping, because I can't focus there anymore, and I need that assistance and that help to refocus there, because I'm focused on a lot more in another direction.
And see, that's the key point there. You have to focus on the parts that you're strongest on, and we talk about having a team in your business. And we talk about having a good CPA, bookkeeper, a good attorney, a good insurance person, marketing people, and then counselors. And the reason you do this, and people go, well, I can't afford that. And what I tell them is, you can't afford not to have that.
Exactly.
It's like the commercial where they say, pay me now or pay me later. Go make a mistake in your bookkeeping for a year, and next thing you know, you're behind on your taxes, you're behind on your payroll taxes.
There are so many horror stories of major fees that are due later, just as you're starting to make a profit, and then you're owing all this money.
Absolutely. So having people to help direct you, and these people don't have to be with you. You don't have to be talking to them every day. You just have to be talking with them on a regular basis, having them there as a counsel, helping you through that process.
Right. And I love, because I say this all the time, what you said earlier about you don't know what you don't know. And that I say that all the time, because I know what I know well, but that's what makes me successful, and why I'm able to help entrepreneurs now is I know I don't know what I don't know, and I need the experts around me to take care of that and focus on that for me. And that is a key element of success for an entrepreneur.
And that's what we do. We don't know it all. So we have, Cindy, we do, and you know this because you've been a part of some of those, we do over 130 seminars a year in our center. We don't do them all. We have people like Lynn Talbot, who does an entrepreneur bookkeeping seminar every month. We have attorneys, CPAs, HR professionals who come help facilitate, social media marketing people come help facilitate these different subjects, so that we get the experts, people that do this every day, who give them these tidbits of how they can help them do it themselves.
That's key, because and we're all for education and what we can learn from study in a book. But the people who've been hands-on, who've actually got out there and done it for themselves, they get it. They know and they understand all the different aspects that apply to actually being successful. Reading it, we all know, because everything you're saying, I so relate to my construction business. I had a construction business in Houston, Texas, and it was like, me being the mediator between the architect and the contractor. And yes, the architect was very well educated and knew how to plan a building, but until they'd gotten out there and actually experienced putting that together, there was just certain things they weren't going to understand. And it was really hard for the general contractor sometimes, because they're trying to help the architect understand, we've done this before and it really works better this way. So that's where I had to do a lot of mediating, as a general contractor. And then when you talked about plan and contingency, I'm like, oh my goodness, that was a lot why I had credibility as a contractor, because I told my client, this will not go as planned.
Right.
That is my job to manage that and navigate that and make it end well. There's just no perfect construction job.
No, the most successful people in the world have failed multiple times.
Exactly.
They have. But,
you have to know how to navigate and plan and make it in. I always told when my crews would panic if something went wrong, I'd like, hey guys, no, we just got to make it in well. The mistakes are expected. And then the contingency. Like when I would bid a job, there was a certain percentage I put in there for the unexpected. It's just inevitable. It's going to happen, and you have to plan for the unexpectable. Expectable. I said that right. Yeah. Well, unexpected.
And you were talking earlier, you were talking about Lynn Talbot. Lynn started her business in the incubator.
Yes.
She's a graduate of that incubator, and She has grown her business. She's such a success story, such a nice lady. She's really great at what she does. And these are the type of people, because she has the heart for entrepreneurship and for small business people. And these people that work with us want to give back of their time to show them, they've been through it, been there, done that.
Well, that's a lot why, as the owner of Cindy's Choice, I want to cultivate these types of relationships with people like you, Lynn Chestnut and Lynn Talbot, because I would prefer to send someone to the incubator and get that strong footing for them, that strong foundation, because that's when they're ready for me. They go in there and get solid. When they're ready to grow, then that's when Cindy's Choice can step in and help them very affordably through that major transition.
Right.
The one that, quite honestly, I could never get past. I've always been the break-even girl. I can start a business and keep myself busy. People want to do businesses with me. They trust me. I deliver good work. But getting to that next step with adding another costly employee so that I could start duplicating myself is the tricky part.
Oh, yes.
And that's where Cindy's Choice helps with making that transition affordable. So you'll hear from Lynn on my show quite often, because I want to encourage people to get free counseling, get affordable, and we'll have Catherine on as well, or you and I can speak to that, to go get affordable office space in a nurturing environment. That's right down the hall from Lynn's office, from the Small Business Development Center.
And that's the important part of that. It is low cost, but it's an ecosystem. And you have people in their first 3 years, and you can walk down the hall and someone will have dealt with an issue you may be dealing with, and it's just having a conversation. The neat thing, real quickly, the graduation rate out of that incubator is 93%.
That's amazing.
And how many businesses in the nation fail within the first 3 years?
I can't tell you how many hugs I've exchanged in the hallways at the incubator.
Oh, I know.
Because it's we know, and there's been so many times you just know somebody's, and I'm like, I can tell you need a hug, and you want to hear from somebody that knows, I know how you feel. I've been there. You will get through this. Stay focused. And they're like, thank you. Yeah. And that is huge. That is huge. And again, that's something we can get off into personalities. There's a lot of entrepreneurial personalities that don't realize that they need that. And that's a huge benefit and something crucial to their success. And you are listening to the Cindy's Choice Show on AM 1240 and 92.7 FM, Nooga Radio. I'm Cindy. I'm visiting with Lynn Chestnut, who's the Managing Director at the Small Business Development Center. And we're about to slide into a break here. We will be back after the break to talk more about helping small businesses, assisting them, and help how we can. And I want to give my information really quick. Cindy at cindyschoice.com. Cindy at cindyschoice.com. 423-661-4445. We'll be back.